Okay.
Dear members of PPAP Automotive Limited, good morning. I, Shikha, on behalf of Link in Time India Private Limited, RT of your company, welcome you all at the 27th Annual General Meeting of your company. Before going to the proceeding, I would like to request to the members to please keep their devices in mute mode to enable us to conduct of the meeting smoothly. For members who have been pre-registered and have been confirmed as a speaker to speak in the meeting, the audio will be enabled when the company secretary will request them to speak. Now, without any delay, I hand over to Ms. Pankuri Agarwal, the company secretary of the company, to please go ahead with the proceeding. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shikha. A very good morning to all of you. My name is Pankudi Agarwal. I am the company secretary of your company, PPAP Automotive Limited. A very warm welcome to all the shareholders, directors, and auditors to the 27th annual general meeting of our company. This annual general meeting is being held through video conferencing mode in accordance with the circulars issued by Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Securities and Exchange Board of India. It is my pleasure to introduce the key executives of the company who are attending the meeting from our corporate office located in Noida. Mr. Ajay Kumar Jain, Chairman
Namaskar.
and Managing Director. Mr. Abhishek Jain, Managing Director and CEO.
Namaskar.
Mr. Sachin Jain, Chief Financial Officer.
Namaskar.
Before I hand over the proceedings of this meeting to the chairman of the board, I will explain the regulatory and general instructions for smooth conduct of this annual general meeting. In accordance with MCA and SEBI circulars, the annual report of the company, along with notice of this AGM, are being sent electronically to all the members whose email addresses are registered with depository participant and registrar and share transfer agent. Facility to join this AGM through VC is available to all the members of the company on first come, first served basis. The members joining the meeting will be placed on mute mode to ensure smooth and seamless conduct of the meeting. The session will start with the chairman address followed by explanation of the resolutions. After the resolutions are read, there will be question and answer session followed by vote of thanks. The moderator will unmute the members who have pre-registered themselves for question and answer session. It is advisable to the registered member to use headphones so that we can listen to your query clearly. Please ensure that your internet connectivity is minimum 2 Mbps. In case there is no response by the registered member, the moderator will mute such member and move on to the next registered member. After your name is called out, you can ask your question in order to ensure smooth conduct of the meeting. Each member will be given a minute to speak. The management of our company will try their best to answer your questions. In case you have any follow-up question or query, you may use the chat box or you may contact us on our registered email address. It may be noted that the company reserves the right to limit the number of members asking questions subject to the time availability. In case you are unable to reconnect in the meeting, please contact the helpline number mentioned in the notice of the meeting. The registered office of the company situated at New Delhi shall be deemed to be the venue of this annual general meeting, and the proceedings of this meeting shall be deemed to be transacted at the place of business mentioned in the notice. The proceedings of the meeting are recorded for compliance purpose. I seek cooperation from all of you for smooth conduct of this meeting. The company has taken all feasible measures to ensure members to attend this meeting through video conferencing facility and has provided electronic facility for e-voting. As of now, 42 members have joined this meeting. Since the quorum of the meeting is complete, I request Chairman and Managing Director of our company, Mr. Ajay Kumar Jain, to chair this meeting and begin the 27th annual general meeting. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Pankudi. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ajay Kumar Jain, Chairman and Managing Director of your company. It is my pleasure once again to be in your midst, and I hope all of you are in good health and spirits. As the requisite quorum is present, I call the meeting to order. First of all, let me introduce our independent directors to all the members. Mr. Bhuvan Kumar Chaturvedi. Mr. Chaturvedi has a rich experience in the automotive and engineering industry and management consultancy. He is the chairperson of Corporate Social Responsibility Committee and member of the Audit Committee, Nomination and Remuneration Committee. He's joining us from Gurgaon. Mr. Chaturvedi.
Morning. Namaskar.
Mr. Praveen Kumar Gupta. Praveen ji has a wide and deep knowledge and experience in the field of corporate finance and taxation, accounts, audit, and indirect tax laws. He is the chairperson of Audit Committee, Stakeholders Relationship Committee, and member of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee. He is joining us from Noida. Praveen ji.
Namaskar and good morning to everyone.
Mrs. Celine George. Ms. George has expertise in the areas of leadership, corporate restructuring, business transformation, people performance, and change management. She is the chairperson of Nomination and Remuneration Committee. She is joining us from Gurgaon. Ms. George.
Good morning, Namaskar.
Now let me introduce to you non-executive director of the company, Mrs. Vinay Kumari Jain. She is one of the founding partners of the company and has been deeply associated with the company since the start of the business. She is a member of the Stakeholder Relationship Committee and Corporate Social Responsibility Committee. She is joining from New Delhi. Mrs. Vinay Kumari Jain.
Namaskar, good morning.
Mr. Sanjeev Agarwal, representative of Statutory Auditor OP Bagla and Company LLP, is joining us from New Delhi. Sanjeev Agarwal.
Namaskar. Good morning to everyone.
Our Secretarial Audit, Nilesh Kumar Jain and Associates, are represented by Mr. Nilesh Kumar Jain, joining us from New Delhi. Nilesh Kumar Jain.
Namaskar and good morning to everyone.
Mr. Chetan Gupta, Managing Partner of APAC and Associates LLP, has been appointed as the scrutinizer to scrutinize the e-voting process in a fair and transparent manner. Mr. Chetan Gupta.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Namaskar.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will now share my perspective of the current situation around us. The second wave of COVID-19 pandemic has ebbed, leaving behind a trail of pain and suffering. Safety of our employees and their families was our main concern. Your company took all the steps to provide a safe working environment and full support to all our employees during this turbulent period. My heart goes out to the families who have been impacted by this health crisis. Our second priority was to ensure that our customer lines run smoothly and there is no default from our side. I am thankful to all our employees for their unrelenting support for keeping the company operations smooth and for meeting all the demands of the customers despite the odds. Due to various disruptions, automotive industry has been facing high raw material prices, logistic issues, semiconductor shortage as the demand for semiconductors shot up due to COVID. Our world is currently facing multiple challenges. Global economy is facing risk of widespread stagflation and is expecting a slowdown. A huge challenge today is the Russia-Ukraine conflict. It has resulted in high prices of petroleum products, edible oils, food, energy shortage, high energy prices, supply chain disruptions, etc. India too may have to face the short-term challenges of slowing growth and higher inflation. On the positive side, India's manufacturing is set for long-term growth and gain a major share in the global manufacturing output aided by infrastructure improvements, which are helping drive down macro costs and improve reliability of supplies, and a supportive global environment as various countries are looking to broad base the supplies sources away from China and an increasing focus on import substitution by India. According to the changing times, your company is being restructured for both organic and inorganic growth. In the automotive space, your company has been continuously adding new customers, more value added products, and expanding our operations near to the customers to meet their current and future needs. We have increased our market share with our existing customers and started supplies to new customers. Your company has been regularly appreciated by our customers for our customer centric approach. In the EV vertical, we have set up lithium ion battery lines for two and three wheelers. This vertical is helping us increase the EV customer interest for the development of plastic injection molding tools as well as plastic and rubber parts for vehicles. It has facilitated in making your company a big solution provider. Leveraging our tooling facilities, your company has added new customers in the automotive segment, white goods, and medical segment. We have established ourselves as one of the leading manufacturers of plastic injection mold and tooling in the country. New ventures in the aftermarket have been getting good traction. We have been expanding our footprint across India to capitalize on the aftermarket demand. Your company's sustainable performance is closely monitored. At PPAP, we do more than comply with all statutory requirements set by regulatory authorities in the true letter and spirit. We have set our foot on our ESG journey with the objective of running our operations sustainably and responsibly. Your company's first sustainability report for FY20 ranked 7th among Asian sustainability reports in the category of first time reporting. The report defines the initiatives which your company has taken in environment, social, and governance. Through our CSR activities, we are consistently focusing on environment, education, and health. We are supporting various biodiversity parks in New Delhi to plant and sustain native trees to improve the environmental conditions. We are completely poised with dynamism and resilience to navigate through the volatile environment due to our relentless focus on global level excellence in each area of our operation. We are going forward, the demand for our products is improving owing to preference of personal mobility. Our customers are launching new models and are making efforts to achieve record production. It is expected that the semiconductor shortage, supply chain issues, along with high raw material prices, would ease out soon, leading to our improved financials. During FY22, revenue of our company has grown by 27% on a standalone basis and 30.9% on a consolidated basis. EBITDA witnessed an increase of 17% during FY22 and stood at 38.6 crore rupees. Your board has recommended a final dividend of 15%, which is rupees 1.5 per equity share. Now, continuing with the conduct of this AGM, the notice is already circulated to the members, and with your permission, we take the notice of this AGM as read. I request our statutory auditors, represented by Mr. Sanjeev Agarwal, to confirm the statutory audit report. Mr. Sanjeev Agarwal.
Thank you, sir. Dear members, we would like to inform that our report on financial statements of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2022 is standalone and consolidated basis does not contain any qualification or adverse remarks. With your permission, we take this report as read. Thank you.
Now I request our secretarial auditor, Mr. Nilesh Kumar Jain, to confirm the secretarial audit report.
Dear members, the secretarial audit report for the financial year ended 31st March 2022 is self-explanatory. With your permission, we take the report as read. Thank you.
Thank you, auditors. I will now brief you about the resolutions which are required to be passed today. There will not be any proposer or seconder to the resolutions proposed in this annual general meeting. There are 8 resolutions in the notice to be approved by the members at this annual general meeting. 3 are ordinary business resolutions and 4 are special business resolutions. The first business resolution is adoption of audited financial statements, standalone and consolidated, of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2022, together with reports of the Board of Directors and auditors thereon. The second resolution is the declaration of final dividend of rupees 1.5 15% per equity share, face value of rupees 10 each, for the financial year ended 31st March 2022. In the third and the fourth resolution, I am an interested party. Therefore, I entrust the conduct of the proceedings of the AGM with the consent of the members present to Mr. Praveen Gupta and request him to take the chair. Mr. Praveen Gupta.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for entrusting me with this responsibility. Good afternoon, members. I now brief you about the third, fourth, and fifth resolution which are proposed today. The third resolution is the reappointment of Mrs. Vinay Kumari Jain, non-executive director of the company, who retires by rotation and, being eligible, offers herself for reappointment. The fourth resolution is waiver of excess remuneration paid to Mr. Ajay Kumar Jain, Chairman and Managing Director of the company during the financial year 21-22. And the fifth resolution is a waiver of excess remuneration paid to Mr. Abhishek Jain, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of the company during financial year 2021-22. Now I request Mr. Chairman to resume the chair and continue with the proceedings of the AGM. Thank you.
Thank you, Praveenji. Let us continue with the brief on the balance 3 resolutions. The sixth resolution is the approval of employee stock option scheme. The seventh resolution is the approval and extend benefits of the PPAP Employee Stock Option Scheme 2022 to the employees of subsidiary and associate companies, including our joint venture company. The eighth resolution is the ratification of remuneration payable to Messrs. Rakesh Singh and Company, cost accountant, as cost auditors to the company for the financial year ending 31st March 2023. The objectives as well as the explanatory statements of these proposed resolutions have been mentioned in the notice of this AGM. Thank you everyone for your patient hearing. Now I hand over the proceedings to the Company Secretary.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Dear members, I would like to inform you that Register of Directors and key managerial personnel and their shareholding and Register of Contracts and Arrangement in which directors are interested and other documents has been made available electronically for inspection by members during the AGM. It can be viewed on InstaMeet. Pursuant to the provision of Companies Act 2013, your company has provided the facility for voting by electronic means to all its members to enable them to cast their vote electronically. In accordance with Section 108 of the Companies Act 2013, the remote e-voting facility commenced on 12th of September 2022 at 9 a.m. and concluded on 15th of September 2022 at 5 p.m. The InstaPoll facility will be activated immediately after the conclusion of this AGM. Members who have not exercised their vote through remote e-voting can cast their vote by clicking on the link provided therein towards the end of this AGM. Now, we move to the next part of the AGM, which is to get the valuable insight from our members and to answer any query that they may have. At first, we would like to answer the question received on registered email address. The question received on mail are: what is the purpose of introducing the ESOP scheme? What is the impact on the shareholder value? I request our Managing Director and CEO to please respond.
Yeah, thank you for that question. As explained by Chairman Saab in his address, the company has charted out its strategy to achieve higher growth going forward. And in this whole process, we are also de-risking ourselves from any dependence on one customer or one sector. The company is at an inflection point of transformation. Therefore, in order to actualize this strategy, we will require talented people to lead various functions of the company. Therefore, in this year, we are retooling our human resource policy and programs, which will be in line with what is relevant today and what will make us future ready. We have introduced some basic programs like flexible hours, flexible uniforms, employee transportation. We have also upgraded our offices, and now we are working towards reformation of our policies and procedures. ESOP scheme is an important integral part of the reform agenda. There are three primary reasons why we have introduced this scheme. Uh, First and foremost is to retain our talent pool so that our culture, which has been built over the last 30 years, that is preserved in the company. Second is to give a sense of ownership to the people. And the third is to reward them for their superior performance. The key features of this scheme have already been mentioned in the notice. The maximum number of options to be granted shall not exceed 7 lakh employee stock options, which will be issued fresh by the company. For the second part of that question on impact on shareholders' value, let me tell you that first of all, 7 lakh shares will be issued over a period of years. In my opinion, if you look at the larger scheme of things, shareholder value will be enhanced by this initiative. People will get motivated to outperform themselves, and in this whole process, the returns which this will improve the company's performance and the company will benefit from it. In the short term, you may feel that your percentage of holding has been reduced, but it will not have any significant or substantial impact. I think this scheme will act as a catalyst in creating a long-term sustainable value for all the shareholders.
Thank you, Mr. Abhishek. Now, the next question received on mail is, what are the new initiatives the company has taken to improve the company's performance? What is the midterm to long-term business outlook? I request Mr. Abhishek to please respond.
Yeah, thank you again for that question. So, in Chairman Saab's address, we've explained what new initiatives are being taken. So, the company is now aggressively following the growth path and is entering into uncharted territories based on our core competence. So, we are aggressively trying to improve our wallet share with our existing customers in the automotive segment. This year, we should be hitting the maximum number of production ever for passenger vehicles. There is strong buoyancy in the demand, and we expect this trend to continue. All the components that are being supplied by us are engine agnostic products, which ensures that there is a minimum risk from the transformation of ICE engines to EV engines. Many of our existing customers like Tata Motors, MG, Maruti, Toyota, etc., have charted out their EV strategy and are in talks of sourcing their components from us. Apart from this, we are aggressively chasing the new age two-wheeler electric vehicle makers for parts development. The second initiative for growth being taken by the company is development of the aftermarket business. We see a lot of opportunity in this area in both component side and accessories side. We already have over 500 SKUs built up for this vertical. We've set up a network of 100 dealer partners and we are present in more than 35 cities across India. And we are expanding this reach every day as we speak. Soon we will start organizing the export opportunities in this segment. The third initiative is towards extension of our core competence in neighboring industries other than the automotive industry. This division is being called as the Industrial Product Division, and we are scouting for development of parts in areas relating to packaging, household items, electronic goods, etc. This vertical also has a lot of headroom for growth, and we see and we foresee development of export market as well in this vertical. The fourth initiative is development of the plastic injection molds and dies. Various industries like automotive, white goods, and medical sectors are importing a huge quantity of such molds and dies from China. Due to the current supply chain constraints and focus on China plus one strategy, a lot of companies are looking at locally developing such tools and dies, and that is where the opportunity for this vertical is created. The fifth vertical is the new world order for everyone globally, the lithium ion battery pack segment. In this segment, we are focusing on mobility and storage solutions like solar street lights, etc. In mobility, we are developing these packs for electric vehicles, electric two-wheelers, and three-wheeler applications. We have already established three assembly lines, and our capacity currently is to make 60,000 battery packs per year. All these product segments are at different stages of commercialization. The cumulative effect of all these businesses will ensure higher value addition for all the stakeholders.
Thank you, Mr. Abhishek. Moving on to the next question. The next question is, what was the capacity utilization last year and what is the expectation for the FY23? I request CFO to please respond.
Thank you, Pankudi-san. So the automotive industry has started recovering from last year, but due to the semiconductor shortage, the full potential could not be exploited. So therefore, capacity utilization for the last year stood at 65%. And this year, we are witnessing higher demand, and we understand in line with the higher demand, our capacity utilization should be in the range of 75 to 80% in FY23. And first quarter, our capacity utilization was in the range of 70 to 72%.
Thank you, Mr. Sachin. Now, the next question is, brief the financial performance of the company in FY22. Further, company achieved the EBITDA of 18 to 19% in pre-COVID years. What is the management expectations on the sustainable EBITDA margins in future? I request Mr. Sachin, our CFO, to please respond.
As already explained by our chairman, sir, and MD, sir, last year was very tough for the industry. We faced several challenges like COVID restrictions, semiconductor shortages, geopolitical disruption, etc. In spite of all these challenges, the group achieved the revenue increase by 30% and EBITDA growth by 17%. And last year, the margin were also under pressure due to the sudden and unprecedented increase in the commodity prices. This year, we expect that the margin to improve in line with the cooling of the commodity prices, and we expect to achieve a sustainable margin of 15% going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sachin. The next question is, the company proposed to waive excess remuneration. Please advise the reason for that. Since management is an interested party, I request the chairperson of Audit Committee, Mr. Praveen Gupta, to kindly respond. Over to you, Mr. Praveen.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Pankri, for this opportunity. So, as we all know that we have been affected by COVID pandemic for a very long time now, and the entire industry has been disrupted with lockdowns and hardships in doing business, which has resulted in a reduction in earnings in the company and for everyone. During the pandemic, the promoters took a substantial haircut of around 50% in their remuneration compared to 2020 financial year. And in financial year 2022, the total revenue of the group has grown by 31% and EBITDA by around 17%. And the promoter management continue with their reduced remuneration in this financial year as well. So even in the current year, the financial year, the remuneration continues to be around 40% less than that in financial year 2020, which is much lower than the industry standards. And considering the constant efforts put in by them in steering the company towards the new vision and maintaining its standards and status, it was recommended by the board to waive the excess remuneration in terms of the provision of Section 198. So over to you. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Praveenji. The next question is steps to increase the asset quality and capital improvement. I request Mr. Abhishek Jain, our MD, to please respond.
I think I've explained about the new initiatives that have been taken by the company already. The five verticals in which we've are focusing for growth. I think all these initiatives cumulatively will definitely improve our asset utilization. And as asset utilization improves, automatically our returns on capital will improve. So, as I explained to you, all these five verticals are in different stages of commercialization. So, as soon as we are achieve better sales and better returns from that, automatically all the return ratios will improve for the company. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abhishek. Our next question is about expansion and diversified or capex plan. I request Mr. Sachin to please respond.
Expansion and diversification has already been covered in earlier questions. And about last year, there was more investment in the new business vertical side. And this year, we are expecting to have the capex in the range of 35 to 40 crores.
Thank you, Mr. Sachin. The next question is present status of disputed case Vivad to Vishwas scheme was launched last year to settle pending dispute. Indications are there that the scheme has been a great success. Hence, we want to know your experience and comments on disputed matters of the cases with the concerned authority for the purpose of resolve the issues. I request Mr. Sachin to please respond.
I think our government is coming up with many progressive policies which enable ease of doing business in the country. The details of dispute is already reported in annual report under the contingent liability section. However, none of these dispute comes under the purview of IOR to Vishwas scheme.
Thank you, Mr. Sachin. The next question is related to the margin rates, cost cutting, cash generation steps, and present status of ROCE, ROI, and EVA. I request Mr. Sachin to please respond.
As I already told that the sustainable EBITDA margin should be in the range of 15%. The company operates the cost management system for managing operation cost as well as capital cost and find out improvement areas in each and every vertical where company operates. Further, the reasonability of every paisa being spent by the company is checked thoroughly. And this year onwards, we are expecting our return ratio to improve due to the higher capacity utilization.
Thank you, Mr. Sachin. The next question is how has company strengthened competitiveness related to its presence in industry spaces margin and the strength of its balance sheet? I request Mr. Abhishek to please respond.
Yeah, thank you for that question. I think we've explained earlier this five business verticals which we are focusing on for higher growth and reducing dependence on any particular customer or any particular sector. So I think all these efforts cumulatively should definitely improve our competitiveness and financial performance. We're doing a lot of work on development of our own technology also. So we have a team of about 20 people who are developing solutions for customers completely by ourselves. So all these things put together will definitely make us more attractive for our customers and of course develop more value for the shareholders. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abhishek. Our next question is are there any significant bad debts and the steps to reduce these bad debts? I request our CFO, Mr. Sachin, to please respond.
We are very sensible while doing business with our customer who have the stable finances. And the receivable are closely monitored and reviewed periodically by the management team and the respective businesses, and thereby reducing the chances of bad debts. Therefore, we don't have any bad debts in the company.
Thank you, Mr. Sachin. Now we move on to open the forum to listen to our registered speaker. I request our speaker number 1, Mr. Praveen Kumar, to express his views. Moderator, kindly unmute Mr. Praveen.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Praveen Kumar, you may ask your question.
I am audible, sir? Hello, I am audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
A very, very good morning to my respected chairperson, well decorated, esteemed board of directors, and my co-fellow shareholder who joined this meeting online, myself, Parveen Kumar, joining this meeting from New Delhi. Sir, thank you very much, respected chairman, sir, MD, sir, and our CFO for explaining the key element, the key concern of our company, where we stand, what we achieve, and what the future like for our company. Sir, that was very, very detailed speech. I'm very, very delighted as a minority shareholder, and you cover almost everything. Sir, I am with the company since IPO, and when we used to meet physically, respected chairman, sir, I love to thank you for your kindness to the retail investor. You always welcome us with open arm, a red carpet welcome to each and every shareholder. You have a great, healthy discussion with them, and we have a we have a wonderful time when we meet physically. Now the COVID is behind us. Next year, hopefully, we will meet physically, sir. Sir, you have always very, very focused to bring sustainable growth to the retail investor. I really thank you because I've known you personally also. I'm also from Padi Veeras, and your family, you have a legacy to support the community. And in our company also, the CSR activity is concerned. I think under your leadership, our company is doing fantabulous, sir. Fantabulous, sir. So my only question is, it is the compliment, compliment, and compliment, sir. I pray to the God that He will bless you, the entire board, the entire warrior worker of our company, so that you will take a new height in the future, sir. Our company grow really very, very uh, to the next level in the coming future, sir. For the for a company which is very, very listed, the litmus test is also there for the corporate governance. Under your leadership, sir, our CMP, our respected CFO, our CS, they are doing fantabulous job, sir, as far as the corporate governance is concerned. I think you are maintaining the highest standard of corporate governance. So, sir, for a retail investor like me, my hard money is in the safe hands. And, sir, I pray for the entire management to grow leap and bound in the future, sir. And I'm very, very thankful to you and the entire board to give me this platform to express my view and express my observation about the company as a whole. I wish all the very, very best for the future. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for your appreciation, Mr. Praveen.
Thank you, Praveenji, for your kind words. Your words are highly encouraging for us, and we hope to live up to your expectations. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Praveen. Moving on to the next speaker. Our next speaker is Mr. Manjeet Sandeep. Moderator, I request to kindly unmute Mr. Manjeet.
Thank you so much, ma'am. But Mr. Manjeet Sandeep has not joined the meeting.
The next speaker, Mr. Narendra Singh Chauhan. Moderator, kindly unmute Mr. Chauhan.
Mr. Narendra Singh Chauhan, you may speak, sir. Mr. Narendra, sir, please go ahead, sir.
Mr. Chauhan is not audible. We can move to the next speaker. Our next speaker is Mr. Rakesh Kumar. Moderator, kindly unmute Mr. Rakesh.
He has not joined, ma'am.
Okay, moving on to the next speaker, Mr. Gagan Kumar. Moderator, kindly unmute Mr. Gagan.
He is also not available, ma'am.
Moving on to the next speaker, Mr. Surinder Kumar Arora. Moderator, kindly unmute.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Surinder Kumar, you may speak, sir. Mr. Surinder Kumar. Mr. Surinder Kumar, please go ahead, sir. You are on the panel, sir.
Mr. Surinder Kumar Arora is not audible. Moderator, let's move on to the next, Mr. Rama Jain. Kindly unmute Mr. Rama Jain.
He has not joined the meeting, ma'am.
Mr. Rama Jain is not audible. Moving on to the next speaker, Mr. Krishan Lal Chadha. Moderator, kindly unmute Mr. Krishan Lal Chadha.
Ma'am, he is not available, ma'am.
Okay, our next speaker is Mahinder Pal Bhutani. Moderator, kindly unmute Mr. Bhutani.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Mahendra Pal Bhutani, please speak, sir. You may speak now.
नमस्कार, am I audible, sir? मेरी आवाज आ रही है सर?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, हमारे CEO अजय कुमार जैन जी, board members and management team, very good afternoon and Jai Hind to all. Sir, we have seen after going through the annual report that our company performance during the 21-22 was not up to the level of satisfaction because our stock PE ratio is 74.30, ROCE ratio 1.82%, ROE is minus 0.14%, and company delivered a poor sales growth 4.20 over past 5 years and low return on equity 2.21 for the last 3 years. Sir, net profit first quarter is 0.05 crore, 558 crore, and EPS is 0.41. Sir, our borrowing has been increased to 110 crores. Sir, sir, your holding, promoter holding is 64.87%, and FII has increased their holding to 5.85, and whereas public holding has been decreased to 29.28%. Sir, what is the reason company could not shown their best result during the last year as well as the first quarter, and I hope in second quarter, June to August. Sir, one thing we have noticed that whenever we visited with our queries and the grievances to your 54 Oakland Industrial Area Phase 3 office, there was no one person for investor grievance cell. May I know the reason why when the time had changed, when our company may maintain investor friendly relation, I have noticed that 2-3 speakers could not join. Maybe the reason for that, our company is not now keeping friendly relations. After the retirement of Mr. Pankaj, people, what they are thinking, you know better. And my question is now, what is your strategy for medium and long term for in competitive platform and geographically expansion? Is there any? And your positioning on product positioning of QCDD parameter? What efforts has been made by the company to strengthen the internal legal and collection process? Do we have any major complex plan, sir? Vivad Se Vishwas scheme was launched by the government to redress the grievances. I have seen that most of the big company has taken the benefit of this Vishwas scheme. I know, Jain sir and your board, sir, what is your opinion? Is there any settlement made by your company during this time, 21, 22 and 22, 23? Sir, I know and we believe that company management is far younger in its thinking, transparent in its working, stronger in its commitment, and more responsible. Sir, we are expecting more from you because we feel that company has much more potential than what it has delivered yet. Sir, as a shareholder, and hope and confident that the rich experience of the board will help the leadership team in achieving bigger milestone, and it will soon reflect on our stock price too.
Thank
Best
you for your
wishes
question.
to best wishes to each one of you for the festival season, and this critical team for sending the link and notice in time, and the coordinator of link in time. So nice of you, sir. मुसीबतें मुश्किलें आती हैं, तो इसलिए मैं कहना चाहूंगा दो लाइनें कि तूफानों से कह दो कि वो थम जाएं, क्योंकि हमारी कंपनी, हमारे जो सीएमडी और एमडी साहब और जो एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर हैं, वो पंखों से नहीं बुलंद इरादों से उड़ान भरते हैं, और ये उड़ान कंपनी को नई पहचान दे, नए नए आयाम पे ले जाए, नए प्रॉफिट की ओर हमें बढ़ाए। इस शुभकामना के साथ मैं सभी का टॉप से लास्ट पर्सन तक का मैं शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं, जिन्होंने महामारी के दौरान कंपनी के लिए बहुत बेस्ट दिया। थैंक यू वेरी मच। जय हिंद सर, विद संतोष भूटानी, एमपी भूटानी एंड सुरेश भूटानी। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
Thank you for your question, Mr. Bhutani. I request our MD, Mr. Abhishek, to please respond.
भूटानी जी, आपके इंकरेजिंग रिमार्क्स के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अभी जैसे चेयरमैन साहब ने भी अपनी स्पीच में बताया, और इससे पहले जो हमारे पास राइटिंग में क्वेश्चन भी आए हैं, वो सारे जो आपके कंसर्न्स हैं उनको हमने ऑलरेडी एड्रेस करा है। तो हम जानते हैं कि लास्ट 2-3 साल में कंपनी की परफॉर्मेंस इतनी अच्छी नहीं रही है, बट आप जानते ही हैं कि इन्वायरमेंट कैसा था, कोविड की सिचुएशन थी, लॉकडाउन थे, सेमीकंडक्टर शॉर्टेजेस थी। तो लास्ट ईयर से जो है ये सडन कमोडिटी प्राइसेस बढ़ गए थे। तो जैसा कि हमने पहले बात करी है कि यही सब वजह को देखते हुए हमने ये नए वर्टिकल शुरू करे, कंपनी में नया फोकस शुरू करा है, नई चीज़ों में हम नए प्रोडक्ट में हम घुस रहे हैं, नई मार्केट्स में हम घुस रहे हैं, नए टाइप के कस्टमर्स ऐड कर रहे हैं। तो ये सब चीज़ें जब हम करेंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली जो है अब कंपनी की परफॉर्मेंस ठीक होनी शुरू हो जाएगी। जो दूसरा आपने कमेंट दिया है ये QCDD पैरामीटर्स के लिए, हमारी कंपनी की काफ़ी फोकस जो है वो QCDD पैरामीटर्स के ऊपर होती है। हम शुरू करते हैं हमेशा सेफ्टी से, तो हमारा फोकस जो है वो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है कि हमारे जितने भी प्लांट हैं वहाँ पे ह्यूमन सेफ्टी सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट रहे, फायर सेफ्टी रहे, और लोग जो है वो ठंडे दिमाग से अपना पूरा पोटेंशियल के साथ काम कर सकें। तो सेफ्टी के ऊपर सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट हमारा फोकस है। उसके बाद ऑफ कोर्स जो भी हम प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं उसमें जो कस्टमर्स से के साथ अग्रीड क्वालिटी लेवल्स की अग्रीमेंट होता है उसको हम सप्लाई करते हैं इन द राइट कॉस्ट एंड इन द राइट टाइम। सो ये हमारी कंपनी की बेसिक स्ट्रेंथ है और इसी के साथ साथ लास्ट 2 साल में हमने अपनी सस्टेनेबिलिटी की जर्नी भी शुरू करी है। जो फर्स्ट रिपोर्ट थी हमारी वो हमने पब्लिश करी थी जो कि काफ़ी एशिया सस्टेनेबिलिटी अवार्ड में टॉप 10 में आई थी। नंबर 7 पे थे हम एशिया लेवल पे और अभी थोड़े टाइम के बाद ही हम इस साल की भी अपनी सस्टेनेबिलिटी की रिपोर्ट लॉन्च करेंगे। जहाँ तक आपका इन्वेस्टर ग्रीवेंस का सवाल है, भूटानी जी हम आपके साथ बैठे हैं। आपको कंपनी का रजिस्टर्ड ईमेल एड्रेस पता है, आपको कंपनी का कॉर्पोरेट ऑफिस पता है। वी आर जस्ट अ फ़ोन कॉल अवे फ्रॉम यू। You have any grievance, link in time is also there for your grievances। तो काफ़ी सारे forums हैं जाके हम जो है आप लोग के grievances सुन सकते हैं। तो please reach out to us in case you have any grievance and we will be more than happy to address those issues for you। हमारे सारे प्लांट जो हैं वो खुले हुए हैं आप लोग के लिए। आप लोग को जब आना हो आप हमसे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं। पांखुरी जी के साथ ईमेल कर सकते हैं। ये फिक्स करेंगी पूरा शेड्यूल और उस शेड्यूल के बेसिस पे जो है विल बी मोर देन हैप्पी टू वेलकम यू टू एनी ऑफ आवर फैसिलिटीज़ आइदर इन नोएडा और इन चेन्नई और इन गुजरात और इन पथरेडी एनीवेयर। यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम टू come and visit and see all the hard work which is being done by the company to achieve this performance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abhishek. Moving on to the next speaker, I request moderator to kindly unmute Mrs. Shashi Jain.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Sasi Jain, you may speak, ma'am.
Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Hello.
बोलो आवाज आ रही है बोलो।
A very good afternoon, Chairman Sir, and Board of Directors, and my fellow shareholders attending the e-meeting. Congratulations to the management and all the staff employees for providing the excellent results during the year. There is no doubt in the financial statements of annual report, as I have full faith in the management. I also support all the regulations. First of all, I would like to know that bonus or right issue. And secondly, what is the future strategy? Thank you very much to the company secretary and all the staff of secretarial department for allowing me to put up my points in the meeting. And I hope the management will continue to hold the AGM through VC in future. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Shashi. I request our MD San to please answer.
Thank you, Shashi जी आपके सवाल के लिए। अभी तो फिलहाल हमारा कोई प्लान है नहीं बोनस या राइट्स इशू का। अभी जो प्लान है वो हमने आप लोग के साथ बड़ी ऑनेस्टली शेयर करा है। चेयरमैन साहब ने भी करा है, मैंने भी करा है, सचिन जी ने भी उसके ऊपर काफ़ी एक्सप्लेन करा है कि क्या कर रहे हैं हम। और अभी तो फिलहाल ये बोनस और राइट इशू का कोई प्लान है नहीं हमारा। और जो ग्रोथ की आप बात कर रहे हैं फ्यूचर प्लान्स के लिए, कंपनी बहुत सीरियस है और हम लोग सब जो है अपनी पूरा प्रयास कर रहे हैं अब कि नई दिशा और नए-नए कस्टमर्स के साथ जुड़े, नए-नए प्रोडक्ट हम लाएँ मार्केट में, नए सेक्टर्स में घुसें। तो जो भी हमने 25-30 साल में इस कंपनी में नॉलेज इकट्ठी करी है, उस नॉलेज के बेसिस पे अब हम अपनी कंपनी को और फर्दर नई स्पीड से, हायर स्पीड से कैसे ग्रो कर सकते हैं। तो आपकी कंपनी जो है वो हमेशा ग्रोथ के ऊपर फोकस कर रही है और जब ये ग्रोथ आनी शुरू होएगी तब ऑटोमेटिकली जो है सारे फाइनेंशियल पैरामीटर्स जो हैं वो ठीक होने शुरू हो जाएंगे। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Mr. Abhishek. Now, all the registered members have been given an opportunity to speak. Thank you to all the members for their views and suggestions. In case you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out through the registered email address or visit us with prior appointment. The questions received through the chat box facility would be replied suitably on email. Dear members, the e-voting facility will remain open for 15 minutes after the conclusion of this meeting and will be disabled thereafter. The result of e-voting will be announced on or before 18 September 2022 by posting on the website of the company and shall be filed with the Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange of India Limited and BSE Limited. The resolutions as set forth in the notice shall be deemed to be passed today, subject to receipt of requisite number of votes. Now, I hand over to Chairman for his vote of thanks.
Thank you, Pankudi. Dear shareholders, the past 3 to 4 years have been very tough for the entire automotive industry. Since this year, there has been an upswing in the demand from our customers. The multiple challenges facing the industry are slowly and steadily getting resolved, and every day the sun is shining brighter on the industry. The new business initiatives will definitely bolster strong growth of the company. I take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for your patience, keeping faith in the company, and for your continuous encouragement and cooperation. I also take this opportunity to thank my colleagues on the board for their relentless support and for always sharing their invaluable wisdom with us. I express my sincere gratitude to our customers due to whom we exist, to my management team and employees who leave no stone unturned to achieve the company's mission, to my suppliers for their uninterrupted support during the disruptive period, and last but not the least, to our bankers who have supported us in the thick and thin. On behalf of the entire board of directors and the management team, I thank all our stakeholders for their trust and support. We will continue to create long-term sustainable value for our members and for our stakeholders. With this, I wish you all good health and well-being. Now I declare the proceedings of this meeting closed. Thank you and namaskar.
Thank you so much, Chairman sir, and all the other panelist members for conducting this AGM in a smooth manner. As this meeting is stands concluded now, so you may take exit from the panel. Thank you so much.